In 2024, this was one of the weakest games in its entire company's lineup. And 1 year later, it made more money than it had in nearly a decade. And then the company running it did something so bad, its own community turned on it. This is how Supercell almost blew Clash Royale's comeback. So, quick rewind. Clash Royale came out in 2016 as a spin-off of Clash of Clans, and for a while it was huge. But mobile games age fast, and by the 2020s, Clash Royale had a real reputation problem. Players were sick of updates that felt like cash grabs instead of actual improvements, and by 2024, it looked like the game had settled into a slow, permanent decline. It made about $202 million that year. Now that's still a lot of money, but for a game that used to be one of the biggest in the world, that's a huge drop. It was fading and everyone could see it. Then, almost by accident, everything flipped. In 2025, Supercell rolled out a reworked economy in March, and a new mode called Merge Tactics in July. Real changes that gave lapsed players a reason to come back, but honestly, those updates weren't the real spark. The real spark was a streamer named Jinxie. He wasn't even known for playing Clash Royale. He mainly streamed a totally different game, and he started playing it almost as a joke. His streams blew up, and we're talking about tens of thousands of people watching him play a game everyone thought was dead. Other massive creators jumped in too, including Mr. Beast, who literally said he reinstalled the game because of what he was seeing online. Out of nowhere, an 8-year-old mobile game was back in the conversation. And the numbers back it up. 2025 revenue hit roughly $487 million. That's more than double the year before, and honestly, the best year this game has had since it first launched. And it wasn't just a good year for Clash Royale. It became Supercell's single highest earning game ahead of Brawl Stars, which had held that spot for years. Okay, here's where this gets really interesting as a business story. In early 2026, Supercell put out an official recap of Clash Royale's comeback year. And in it, they framed the whole thing as a result of their own strategy. Smart updates, smart testing, smart decisions. What barely got mentioned at all? The creators who arguably did more to save this game than any single patch note. Jinxie did not take that well. He called it one of the most disrespectful things he'd ever seen from a company, and he wasn't the only one. Other major streamers publicly backed him up, one even saying he wouldn't touch the game again until Supercell actually gave credit where it's due. And here's the actual lesson for anyone studying business. When your growth comes from outside people, let's say creators, word of mouth, a community doing your marketing for free, and you try to take all the credit for yourself internally, you risk turning the exact people who built that growth into your loudest critics. So where does Clash Royale actually stand today? And honestly, this part is worse than I expected when I first started digging into this. Player numbers peaked in October 2025, and then through early 2026, they cratered, down to a fraction of that peak by May. And it's not just the players. Spending fell off a cliff too. 1 month over month, player spending literally dropped by almost half, right around the same time Jinxie stepped away from the game and Supercell pushed out that controversial update. Supercell's own CEO ended up publicly apologizing, saying the community was frustrated with the changes. So this isn't just a story about a company that had one bad PR week. This is a company that had one of the best comebacks in mobile gaming history handed to them, and then made a decision so bad it undid a huge chunk of it. That's the real lesson here. It's not just about giving credit to the people who help you grow. It's not about actively sabotaging the momentum they hand you. This is the exact kind of story I want to dig in onto this channel. Not just what happened to a company, but why and what it actually teaches us about how businesses work. If you're into this kind of thing, subscribe and let me know in the comments which company or game you want me to break down next.